Nobody starts as a perfect or um, great caregiver. Nobody's perfect overnight for learning anything. You ride a bike once, you don't get it one time. Your dad doesn't take off your training wheels after one time of being on that bicycle. You don't just get the breaststroke overnight or just jumping in the water or trying to swim. You have to kind of learn the doggy paddle first, stay afloat, learn to stay afloat on top of the water, hold your breath. There's different little things that come into play so that we can perfect our art or perfect what we learn. We have to take things one step at a time. No one is perfect as soon as they learn something. Caregiving isn't instinctual, it's learned. It's just like having kids, right? Nobody just has a kid and all of a sudden they're perfection at being a parent, right? It's always work, there's always changes, there's always things that come up that we have to kind of adapt to or pivot and make things different or approach them differently because, let's face it, a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old is not the same as maybe talking to a teenager. You have to learn how to talk or how to tell them they did something wrong, but how do we do this better later, or how do we get punished, take their phone away for a week, or yada yada, right? There's different things in different moments or different times or different steps. So we have to learn sometimes the basics or where we're at right now in time and then change it even later to make it better. Progress, progress, progress. Not every company that starts 20 years ago they've got to make progress with the times, right? If they don't change, then they won't always survive in 20 years. It's kind of like learning. We might need to learn something a certain way today in our company that we work for, but it might change next year or 5 years from now. And now they're training us on a different computer system, or we have to use this now for our meetings. And there's always different things that are changing, but we have to evolve, we have to adapt, we have to pivot so that we can learn it and be successful. And just sometimes it's making those mistakes, but it is progress over perfection, right? Most people are thrown into caregiving overnight. It doesn't always seem like it takes 5 years, but sometimes it does. Sometimes we notice mom or dad change overnight. Maybe something happens overnight quickly and they go to the hospital. And then from there, something changes with their health. So now you have a lot of changes in the house that maybe mom can't use her left arm anymore, or dad can't walk that well anymore because of something that happened yesterday. Maybe it was a stroke. Maybe it was they fell with their walker. There's so many different things, and we have to look at those little steps and kind of figure out where we're at and meet them halfway and then help them so that they can get to where they need to be, just by observing and communicating with them. Skills reduce stress. As we learn things, it reduces our stress. So sometimes people say they have anxiety or they have depression, but when they learn new skills, when they read more, when they listen to more music, or when they go out and take more action and do things, you see the stress, you see the anxiety go down, because when you don't know something, it's scary, right? I've never, went up 20 feet and done cliff diving. Of course, I'm going to be scared or freak out. Like, those are the things that, we have to be taught, we have to learn them, and it's practice, practice until we get successful, until we're comfortable with doing it. And, caregiving's like that as well. Confidence comes from the basics. It's the building blocks. It's the foundation. It's not about perfection the very first time. We're going to just beat ourselves up because we didn't get perfect the first time. And how's that going to do? How is that going to come out right in the end? It's not going to help who we're with or who we're helping because we're frustrated or we're having a temper tantrum because we can't get this. I remember when I first started on a computer and I was not tech savvy at all. I mean, at all. And I would get so mad. And I still remember this to today, that I didn't know how to get on a Zoom call. And I remember always yelling for my husband to help me. And I would get so frustrated because I was a little bit late going in because my computer wasn't working right, or so I thought it was the computer. I had no idea what I was doing. But thank goodness I had the support of my husband. And then as I had coaches and different people, I was able to learn the basics and able to also learn to have confidence, to not be scared, to just try something. You're not going to lose your whole computer system because you did something. It's going to be easier as you go. But guess what? Actions are what build your confidence. If you don't do anything, you're not going to have the confidence to do something later, to complete it or to be successful. It's doing it, it's falling, bruising your knees. It's being embarrassed or humiliated. But guess what? When you learn things, it's going to be ingrained in your brain because you remember putting your hand on the hot stove. Remember mom and dad saying, don't put your hand on the hot stove or the stove's hot? Well, you had to figure it out yourself. You wanted to know because you didn't trust them, right? Whether you were 5 years old or whatever age you were at. But it's those little things that you have to sometimes figure out on your own and learn them. And once you learn them, then you can relate to that so that later on you don't make those same mistakes and it makes you more successful, more confident by doing more action. And that is the most important thing for caregiving. Just knowing what to do and knowing there's going to be mistakes. Nothing's perfect in the beginning. Just let your loved one know, communicate to them, I'm not really sure how to do this, but we're going to figure it out. Even if I have to Google it, I'm going to figure it out. Or I'm going to call a friend of mine who's a nurse or the neighbor. I know she helps you with this and she's really good at this and I can call her. But it's about making progress with mistakes because guess what? That is how we learn because we remember when we made those mistakes in the beginning. Michael Jordan did not become a great basketball player overnight. He did thousands and thousands and thousands of shots and he took so much time and he put in the effort. And that's what it's all about. Who puts in the most effort is going to be the one that's going to be successful. It's not you learning at one time and you're going to be one of the greats. We have to take the time to learn something. And sometimes having those mishaps teach us a good lesson, right? So that we can go on. But that makes us better caregivers for our loved ones by learning from someone else and just growing and just becoming more successful because we kept trying and we kept taking action and now we're better than we were yesterday. And I'm going to tell you today also, a friend of mine, or I think it might have been somebody on, I don't know if it was Russell Brunson or who it was, but one of my friends used to say too, and I think he might have gotten it from Russell Brunson. He goes, you may suck really bad today, but tomorrow when you try this, you're going to suck a little less. And then the next day, you're going to suck even less than that. And there's going to be one day, whether it's the 45th day that you're trying something, that you're going to be really good at it, or maybe you're just going to be really comfortable with it, but you're going to keep doing it until you get better and better, and it becomes easy and it's ingrained, and now you are successful, and you can help somebody else with it.